Hello, I'm Patricia Finney, also known as P.F. Chisholm. I write the Sir Robert Carey historical crime series set in the 16th century. And this is the historical novelist guide to ... going to the bathroom, the John, the toilet, the Jakes. Not sure what to call it. I think we'll stick with going to the bathroom so we don't shock anybody too much. Except, of course, in Elizabethan times there really were no toilets. You had a nice chamber pot under your bed. You had Jakes for the hard stuff. Now, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do piss and shit, all right? That is what the 16th century person would have called them. They didn't do euphemisms that way. So, yeah, the Jakes. The Jakes was usually back, if you had a back courtyard, it was usually there, you know, hole in the ground, little house. Dunghill sometimes, in the countryside. In the city, very often your Jakes was in your cellar, and this was a bad thing. Samuel Pepys complains that his neighbour let his Jakes overflow into Samuel Pepys' cellar. So I'm not saying that everything was squeaky clean in Elizabethan times, but let me tell you that the classic scene that you have in pretty much every movie set in the 16th century, where somebody pees in a pot, goes to the window, shouts "Gardy loo" and tips it out. No, that did not happen. That's a joke. You are talking about pouring piss and shit out of the window onto people who were wearing extremely expensive and impossible to wash clothes. And these people were also armed. Always, everybody was armed with at least a knife. And they were also extremely litigious. I don't think you're going to pour piss and shit onto extremely well-armed and litigious people, are you? No. It's nonsense. There's another bit of nonsense. An academic was happily saying, oh yeah, you know, in the 16th century the piss and shit would be carried down to the River Thames and thrown in the River Thames by the maidservant with buckets. Excuse me? I don't think so. In the 16th century there were, let's do the maths, there were 100,000 people in London. Each person every day produces about a litre or a quart, in American terms, of piss. They produce about half a kilo, or in American terms, a pound, of shit. That means you're talking about 100,000 litres of piss and 50,000 kilos of shit every day in London trudging down to the river? No, that is not what happened. In fact, the River Thames was quite sweet in this time. It was notorious that courtiers used to fish from their bedroom windows in the Palace of Whitehall, and they could catch salmon. So, what happened? What happened to all the piss and shit? The night soil men came and took it away, because piss and shit were both very valuable commodities. Very valuable. Firstly, the piss was taken away separately and kept in barrels for about 10 days until it had turned to ammonia. And then it was used in the fulling industry. Now, fulling is what you do to the cloth after it's been woven. It's where you bleach it, you clean it, you stretch it out, you bang it with hammers to get the nap down, you finish it off so that it's ready to be worn. So the fulling industry was very, very large in London, and the piss was needed. You needed quite a lot of ammonia to bleach all that cloth. The story of where the shit went is so fascinating. I'm going to save that for another episode, because it's quite long and involved. We don't have time in 5 minutes. So that is what happened to your piss and shit. And it's like, it's different, isn't it? But you had a system. There was a system. There was conduits that brought sweet water into the city, and rich men would often leave legacies so another conduit could be built. There's a place in London called Lamb's Conduit Street. A man called Mr. Lamb paid for a conduit, and a conduit is like a little fountain with water coming out, usually from the Thames, but sometimes from some of the springs of London. So that's just the start of the story of Elizabethans, people going to the bathroom in the past. So scroll down, leave a comment. You'll make me very happy if you go to patriciafinney.com, sign up for my email list if you haven't already done so. And this is Patricia Finney saying farewell.